Same place. Same result.
Where do we start?
What a result for England before the break.
Minutes of sheer brilliance from start to finish. It had everything we wanted. It had the pace, the energy, the passing was superb, the pace of the passing, and to be admired, set pieces. They've obviously worked on them on the training ground. 2 in the previous game, and they're working so well again.
I'm just slightly concerned about the Panama TV studio. Can you imagine that? I mean, talk about tears before, though. There'd be a lot of tears now. I mean, it's extraordinary, really. It was a very bizarre 45 minutes football as well, in many ways.
We were brilliant. We were absolutely brilliant. We did everything you could ask of us as a team. Panama, listen, they're not at the level, we know that. But the only thing you can do as an England team is dispatch what's in front of you, and they've done it with an absolute ruthless streak.
Exhilarating at times. I mean, it's just, we talked about the one weakness in the first game was not being able to put the ball in the net. Well, it's been entirely the opposite for this one.
Clinical was what we was asking for before the game, and they've done that to a T. They've been fantastic to a man. I think every player has produced today. I mean, to be honest, this Panama team, they wouldn't even sit well in our non-league leagues in England, to be honest with you. They're that bad. But you've still got to put them away and put them to bed, and we're doing that.
OK, we've got a lot to get through. The first goal, John Stones, great for him. You know, it's been a tough up and down season for him at Manchester City, and he became the first Manchester City player to score in a World Cup since Trevor Francis against Kuwait back in 1982.
No, it was very, very good movement. It took an age, didn't it, to take the corner because of the pulling, the grappling, and the referee was warning several players. But just watch, there's Ashley Young there, just blocks a defender off there for a split second. And the aggression from John Stones to get away from the defender and put that header away. Magnificent, so well worked. Look, you can see there, Ashley Young's just blocked him. Too late, you're asleep, I'm off. And it's a very, very good header. He finds the space and finds the corner. He's just got to guide it in there, and he did. Lovely ball in as well. That's what you need also. So it's one thing getting the movement right, but that ball's got to come in. And it's almost an identical area to where England hit the ball against Tunisia. So obviously been working on that on the training ground, and it's worked perfectly.
What else was almost identical was the amount of holding and grappling that the England players had to kind of cope with in that first half. And it happened in that penalty. If we look back at that, even though that John Stones knocked it in, I mean, if he hadn't, you could argue it was a penalty, as we saw later in the half anyway, Frank.
This is just ridiculous. Harry Kane can't move. Maguire ends up getting it as well. We're all aware of this. I mean, if these Panama boys had watched the England-Tunisia game and watched the fact that we got away, 2 penalties that we should have had, surely you have a conversation saying, get tight to your man, but don't give him a bear hug. Surely you do.
But especially as you could see on numerous occasions, the referee warning them time and again. So he's obviously then looking for it.
These guys, I don't know, they're so animated. They're calling for everything. They've obviously not played at this level before. They're happy to be here and they're taking part, but these guys, they're not up to the standard at all. But as I said, we are actually putting them to the sword now, which is good and it's great for our country.
Second goal's a penalty. Harry Kane obviously dispatched it beautifully, but there was a penalty on Lingard?
Yes. Yeah, I don't think anyone could have any arguments at all, can they, Frank?
Two brilliant things about this. Trippier's quality of delivery, which he did, and Jesse Lingard. He's had an incredible half of football, always looking to make runs behind the back line. This is a striker's run. Alan would have been proud of that in his day. He bends his run perfectly timed here. Bang on the line. Trippier finds him. And then it's all about Jesse. Just that touch is perfect. Nice. Hold your ground for a second. Take the contact, go down. Penalty, bog standard. Brilliant from Jesse Lingard.
Beat the offside trap. Bend your run. That's what you're taught as a kid. And he did that very, very well.
But he contributes in the game. Not only is he making those runs, but he contributes and he endlessly links up. Him and Raheem Sterling, I think, they're always linking, so they're not just giving you that. And then this man, I mean, is there any doubt?
Average penalty, really.
There is absolutely no doubt what he's going to do with that. That's the sort of form he's in, that's the player he is, he's a superstar, and you can have complete confidence he's going to score.
I thought he looked quite nervous taking that. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's certainly distraction in style. Then goal of the half, unquestionably. Jesse Lingard, beautiful bit of football, stunning finish.
Yeah, I mean, the whole of the England play here, this is what you want to see from us. Patience, confidence, everybody showing up for the ball, and this is where Jesse's unbelievable in terms of facing the game, playing 1-2s off of people. Beautiful from Sterling there, but this finish here was exquisite. And I've seen this from this boy since he was like 11 years old at Manchester United. People always question, is he going to be big enough? Is he going to be strong enough? When you've got intelligence and game management that this kid's got, You can be 2 foot tall and you'll get through because he's that intelligent, that good, understands the game. And when he gets in like this, we didn't see it the other day, he wasn't clinical, but we all said they get the chances again, he will put them away. And that finish there, a generation of kids will remember that goal.
Magnificent.
Lovely celebration.
He deserved a celebration, that one. Now, John Stones clearly in contention for the Golden Boot. Not that we're getting carried away.
Well, again, we talk about the working on the training ground. Where all of us are sat here thinking, right, what's going to happen now? Well, that did. Just watch and admire it, because that's what it should happen. Everyone's on the same page. They know what's happening. They know what to do. Yeah, Raheem as an absolute sitter, but John Stones again. Look, everyone knows, everyone's alert and alive to what's happening and what's going on.
That defending from Panama again, England almost had a conference before that. There was about 6 of them talking about what we're going to do. As a Panama defender, you know something's up, and they come up with something quite elaborate and clever. But great finish. I'm a bit disappointed Raheem Sterling didn't get the goal there for his own confidence.
For his own confidence. And 5, I'm trying to keep count. 5-0, another penalty, and it's mad. It's absurd. It's WWE or whatever you call it.
Yeah, exactly. This is they'd do with the Royal Rumble. They'd do well here. It is crazy. It's just such immature, such naive, unprofessional defending here. They've been warned countless times, time and time again. They're not even looking at the ball here. Look, you're taught as a kid, watch the ball, watch the man. But these guys, I mean, it is amateurish in what we're seeing in defending. We could get another 2 penalties the way this is going on. But yeah, deservedly right. The referee got it right.
They must know and think that FIFA are looking at this because of what's been complained about the previous
Didn't
game.
quite get that one as well.
We were talking here. I mean, that is the confidence of a guy, right, who's been on the training ground for hours on end, practicing penalties, picking his spot, and he said, I don't care where you're going, goalkeeper, I'm going to put it in the exact same spot. If you go the right way, you ain't saving it anyway. Confidence.
Couple of stats for you. First, Harry Kane becomes the first England player to score 4 goals in a group stage, which is mightily impressive. And it's the first time England have ever scored 5 goals in a game, actually, let alone a half. In the history of either the World Cup or the European Championship. Last team to score 5 in one half in the World Cup?
Germany?
Correct.
Against Brazil?
4 years ago. Okay. Indeed. Not that long ago, remarkably.
But you know, this game
slightly
here,
better opposition as well.
Yeah, you know, in this type of game, you two are strikers. Would you be thinking Golden Boot at this point now? If you was Harry Kane?
Long before this game. We've just got 2 in the previous game. Absolutely.
Now,
before the start of the tournament.
no, but now, obviously, playing these and you can see...
he'll be licking his lips. He'll be thinking, I can walk off here with another 2 or 3 goals, won't he?
He'll also be thinking, please, whatever you do, Gaffer, do not take me off in the second half and rest me.
Lingard got elbowed, didn't he? Which clearly affected his performance.
Yeah, he woke him up. But, this was early in the game. We went up for a header. I don't know if... He's obviously gone up there just to try and be a nuisance, but yeah, that was naughty. That because Gomez actually went down like he'd been hit by a steam train after this, and it is.
This is where I think FIFA need to change the rules here for the concussion. He needs to go off the pitch and be assessed for 5 or 10 minutes, and then England not be punished by not being able to bring someone else on. If they can bring someone else on whilst he's been assessed by the doctors, the medics, then can get the all clear.
It's a big change in the law. So you mean actually you can bring a sub on for 10 minutes?
Yes.
Or however long it takes?
Yes, absolutely. And then he can be assessed by an independent medic who makes a decision whether he's okay to go back on or not.
Yeah. Stop being ridiculously sensible.
No, it's a serious subject because of the concussion the documentary that I did.
Indeed. And it is a very serious subject. Kieran Trippier, excellent in the first game and in this one as well for Rio.
Yeah, he's been probably one of our most productive players in terms of putting people in with great passes, great weight. His movement here, him and Loftus-Cheek have had it off to a tee. He comes short, Ruben sees that and goes long. But what he is, his choice of pass so far in this tournament has been nothing short of first class. And when he gets the ball, what you see is a confidence in other players that he's going to deliver. They move off him, Lingard especially, Sterling especially, they run beyond because they know that he can play that ball. And here you saw he runs long, Loftus-Cheek comes short. They've got a great understanding out there.
Intelligence, that's the relationship between wing back and winger. It's so important, and they're never in the same line, they're always moving separately. And you just know his progression as a player in the last year or two. From coming in and proving himself in the Premier League, he's absolutely gone in there, and it actually looks really easy for him. He's so comfortable at this level already. He's been one of our best players for sure in these first 2 games.
I think international football may suit him as well. It's a little bit slower. You get a bit more time on the ball to pick your passes, and when you have got delivery like him and you're getting a bit more time, you can execute even better.
He's never been asked a question going the other way defensively, but going forward, very, very impressive.
Yeah. I was going to ask you what Gareth Southgate would be saying at half time. He won't need to say anything. I really do think England are going to get through the group stage. We'll come back to the game.